Hi, I'm Lisa Sarges, author of Diary of a Fat Girl, How I Lost 140 Pounds, Overcame Binge Eating Disorder, and Learned to Love Myself After Weight Loss Surgery, and also the CD, Relaxation with Lisa, a guided meditation. And that's Bozy. Hey, Bose. Yeah, you'll be seeing him during the video because he's in my room with me. My nephew has asked me to make a video clarifying how to deal with a narcissistic mother when it comes to the commandment that many Jews and Christians honor, to honor thy mother and father. Now, it's funny because it's one of the big 10 Commandments, not one of the big 613 that occur in the Torah, those first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, referred to as the Old Testament by Christians. So in the big 10, it's thou shalt not. It's a lot of thou shalt not. And I believe the wording is thou shalt honor thy mother and father. If it was going to stay consistent, it might have said thou shalt not dishonor thy mother or father. So my suggestion is to think of it that way, or if you want to be a literalist and say, no, we can't go changing the original, even though it wasn't written in English, and I don't quite recall what the Hebrew translation is. But there's a difference between being obedient to your parents and honoring them. To honor them is to not dishonor them. Don't dishonor your family name. Don't be cruel or neglectful to them. I'm not cruel or neglectful to my mother, no matter what she might want to tell people about how she lives an abandoned life, but she doesn't. But I digress. But I am also not spending my Fridays and Saturdays with her like I did a few years ago. I'm looking back in my blog, and I'm like, 2 days, like I would give her lunches twice a week. I don't even do that for my closest friends. Why was I doing it for my mother when I was very stressed by the things she was saying and treating the way she treated me? So, depending on outsider might look at this and say, well, wasn't she paying your way? Like, yeah, you buy someone lunch and then you just totally undermine them or fail to recognize them as a full person or really care about what they do, So it's a mixed bag, and I've come to the I'm at peace knowing that she can't help herself. She wasn't raised with what I was raised with. She didn't have access to the education I have had access to because of my parents', hard work. No, I didn't get the nurturing attention that would have made me form a healthier self-esteem and an emotional foundation. No, I didn't get that. But they did their best with what they had. And now I'm doing the rest myself. That's how it is. And she's also emotionally about 3 or 4 years old. She can't help herself. She truly can't. And I have had sit-downs, calm ones and screaming ones, where I let her know, when you did this, that hurt me. And when you made scenes in public, or just came up upon people walking too slowly in a parking lot and leaned on your horn and screamed at them, when you gave waiters and waitresses a hard time, she doesn't even remember doing them. And since I didn't speak up in the moment, and if I had, there were times later on in life when I would just walk away from her. And the ensuing cold shoulder, silent treatment, crying and screaming from her whenever I set a boundary was epic. So I know that I can't really express certain things. I can draw certain boundaries, certain places. And no, I'm not a no contact type of person. If you believe in that, then this video might be very triggering for you. I'm a low contact person or a controlled contact person. I visit her, and if things get too much, then I can leave. That's all. And yes, my father's still alive. He has dementia, so he recognizes me though, so I'm very fortunate. So the difference between being obedient to a parent and honoring them. Well, there's a huge difference. That's why we have two words. We have dictionaries so that we can define two different words. Honor means don't dishonor them. Don't dishonor their name. Don't neglect or abuse them. Honor whatever they provided for you, what they could provide for you. Honor that. Honor whatever good that they provided for you. And in honoring yourself, you can also say, well, when certain things happened a certain way, it hurt, and now I get to talk about it. Honoring them. I believe in family. Now, the people closest to me aren't blood related, my closest friends. And when I talk about my family, I'm often referring to my closest friends. But I also have a belief in family. And my family of origin matters a lot to me. And we spent 23 years in the same house together, and that matters to me. And they parented me the best they could with the resources they had, and that matters to me. So I honor that. And I honor them. I make sure that they have their basic needs met and they're cared for. But as far as taking their shit, no, we don't take abuse. We don't take insults. We don't allow them to control us. You know, you're obedient until you're 18 years old, I guess. You have to be if you're under their roof and they're your guardians. But obedience and honoring are two very different things. Why would you listen to someone who's telling you to do something that's against your will? That's against who you are? That's a betrayal of self. That's a betrayal of your conscience. You can't do that. And if their requests are very unreasonable or require you to be unkind. So, for instance, they like to triangulate, the narcissists and borderlines and border narcs. They want you to take their side. If they're mad at someone in the family, you have to be mad at someone in the family. Or if they don't like a certain person, well, what did you talk to them for? I told you that they were blah, blah, blah. And if you dare to say, well, you know, I'm not taking sides on this one, and I do value so-and-so as a friend or as a... Well, you owe your loyalty to me. Well, why don't you ask them next time you need a... fill in the blank. So yeah, it's a little frightening sometimes to say, no, I'm not going to listen to you when it comes to that. Gosh. You know, things with my father. Things I had to put my foot down about. Ma, he needs those railings next to the toilet to help him get on and off the toilet. No, he doesn't need that. I can't be rearranging my whole life because of him. And then I have to just buy the damn thing, have it installed, and risk, you know, all kinds of hell breaking loose. Ma, leave the fan on in his room. My dad doesn't like air conditioning. He never did. You have to leave the fan on. It's 90 degrees out. Leave the fan on for him. Well, no, Lise, he only just gets up and shuts it off. I'm like, well, let him. If that's what happens, well, then let him. Then, you know, there's nothing I can do. But in the meantime, please leave the fan on for Daddy. Things about his health care. Things, I don't know. That I have to insist. Like, I have to insist the right thing be done. But all my life, you know, all my life, as far as how I was supposed to talk to, who I was supposed to talk to, who I should be friendly with. And then if I didn't agree with her or defied her in any way, there was punishment. There was financial withholding, cold shouldering, silent treatments, or pathetic mama. Oh, no, nothing. What's the matter? Oh, no. I just can't get over that you called me a monster. Well, you know, when you find out that when your father falls on the floor, because my dad falls, he's a fall risk, sometimes he falls, and she discovers him on the floor, and she'll say to him, what are you doing on the floor? Well, what's the matter? Can't you get up? You know, eventually she'll call for help, but sometimes she'll leave him there for hours before someone's called. Yeah. Am I supposed to be okay with that? Or, what was one the other day? My poor father has dementia. He's like, I don't think I can go into work today. Well, how will we pay for the roof over our heads? How will we pay the mortgage? The house has been paid off for, 20, 25 years. Paid off. How will we eat, Shine, if you don't go to work? Like, oh my God. Because I don't abandon her, and my best friend lives there, and he kind of keeps an eye on things. He lives on the ground floor. And he tells me this, and he'll text me. He'll be like, should I worry? I'm just letting you know. And these are things she does against my father. The list of things she's done to me are pretty horrifying. And I don't want to relive them right now. So why am I going to listen to someone like that and obey them? It's only out of fear. It's fear of the silent treatment, fear of financial withholding, fear that she'll trash my reputation to people. I know she talks. Oh, well, Miley, she's got her own life. Yeah, I do. And I have to struggle because I have to pay bills and I have my student loans to pay, and I can't always be running over there unless it's something I really need to do. Like tomorrow I'm going for Father's Day. I don't ignore my parents, but I can't be one of those doting daughters that's there every day. I'm not going to do that. If she needs something, she'll call and I'll go to the store. But you know why she doesn't call me every day? Because she has other people. She does have helpers and friends who do stuff for her. Well, I don't know. I never get to the store. But it's funny. I saw a big pack of Kirkland tissues the other day. So someone went to the store for you. I didn't buy them. And Kirkland, isn't that Costco? Yeah, so someone went to the store for you. I'm on a tangent. I apologize. You honor them. You don't have to listen to everything they say because they're wrong about a lot of things. Grow a set. I have a set of ovaries. You grow a set. And you learn to kindly and gently say, I'll come back when you're feeling better, when you're not yelling. Or, well, we've been down this road. I've heard you complain about the same damn things about my dad over and over. And I don't want to hear it right now, so I'm going to go. Or, here's the choice. I will go to the store for you if you make a list, but it's just too much. I don't have the time and I don't have the strength right now to get you in and out of the car with your wheelchair and push you around the store. But I'll certainly go to the store for you, and then I'll come back. I'll even sit with you and have a meal if you like. Oh, you're craving McDonald's? Yes, I'll go get you a filet of fish sandwich. Why do old people like the filet of fish? It's very strange. And I'll sit with her. I don't say no when it's super important. They needed help getting to the doctor a few weeks ago. I took them. And then it's just very strange. Then her lady friend brought her home and I brought my dad home. It was interesting. But I don't abandon them. I'm there. But I don't believe every word she says. I don't obey every command she gives. Yes, there's the risk of being cut off when they do that, but you got to risk it or you will go nuts. You will get sick. And I've been sick a lot of times, like bad sick. And it's from eating emotions. I know you might be thinking, oh, is that your binge eating disorder? It's part of it. Not my not being able to express emotions well in the moment, and I sit and I see, then I'm like, why did I let that person talk to me that way? So that's part of it. But no, I mean swallowing emotions, like literally just like holding back things you need to say, holding back rage and sadness and disgust and just holding it back because the repercussions of you expressing it are so severe that it's just not worth the trouble. It's self-preservation to just avoid the confrontation, but then we're stuck with the emotions, and where do they go? We got to get them out in safe and healthy ways, or they turn into sickness. So use your conscience. You don't have to do everything they tell you, believe everything they tell you, side with whoever they want you to side with. You have to be able to be as independent as possible. It was very hard, and I still struggle financially. You know, I have 3 college degrees that I'm paying off. It's rough. You know, I struggle to remain independent, and I'm not. I still get help from my parents with things. I absolutely do. And so I still have that risk of, gee, if I say the wrong thing, is she not going to help me pay my so-and-so? Yeah. So I'm not happy about that. And I would love to finally be the parent to my parent. I am emotionally, but financially I would love to say, no, we're gonna do this in the garden. You know, we're gonna get a new door. It's time to get a new door and just pay for it. I would love to get there. That is my goal. I hope I get there soon. I don't walk on eggshells as much anymore. I don't have my brother lives up in Vermont. He's my mother's son from her first marriage. But there's no real triangulation going on with another sibling, so she wants me to come around. So at least I have that working for me, so I don't get the silent treatment as much. Since I have backed off and I'm not spending hours and hours and hours with her every week, she's mellowed a bit. She knows that if she crosses a boundary or starts talking about something I've asked her not to talk about, then I'm going to give her the cold shoulder and silent treatment. I'm going to go live my life. It's difficult. A lot of people go no contact. I go regulated, lower contact. I have an understanding now. I don't expect her to change, and that is very freeing to me. Do I forgive her? I don't know what the word means. I haven't forgotten because I am still expressing my anger about a lot of things, and I am still remembering things I stuffed away for years that I thought were my fault. Nothing, it wasn't my fault. And I do get to be upset and mad, and I get to tell my story. You know why? Other people benefit by it. It's not just me letting stuff, blowing off steam. I get responses from other people who say, thank you. Thank you. I thought I was the only one. I want to relieve shame, relieve suffering, and make life easier and happier. That is my goal. And for anyone who says, oh, gee, your poor mother, what does she think about your videos? Well, she doesn't have the internet. She doesn't have YouTube. And she knows I have a book out, but didn't fight too hard to get a hold of it. And I'm kind of glad because I talk about her. Am I disgracing her? No. No, because I say the good things about her too. My mother spent years in the animal rescue field, rescuing hardcore abused animals and rehabbing animals and cats. You know, there was an occasional dog, but mostly cats. And she has always done charity. She's always given clothes and food and money to the poor. She's good mommy. No, good person, bad mommy syndrome, I think it's called. And there's many good things she's done for me. There's many times she's bailed me out financially. So she couldn't give me the nurturant attention, the emotional support I needed all my life. Part of her knows that. I think her soul knows that. And so she supports me in the ways that she can. And it's not always been torturous bad times. It's a lot of torturous bad times with her, but there's also been some fun. We've always laughed together, and we still do. And now that things are lighter now, she'll be 94 in the first week of September. It's easier on me. Not always. Sometimes I have to walk out. Oh, got a phone call, gotta go, kind of stuff. But things are better now. Things are better now. I think I hear someone at my door. Okay, so there's your video on obedience versus honoring. I hope it's helpful. If you have any more requests for video topics, please leave them in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe, and be as well as you can under the circumstances.